Well, I believe we're live this morning, live and in living color. They talked about whether or not to have an in living color like remake or redo. And I think Damon Wayans was like, the world couldn't handle the in living color remake because they were way across the line even when they were doing it. I don't know if they'd make it. They'd end up having to like really change their jokes up and everything because the stuff that they would talk about would not be appropriate
That's
in
the
these
funny
days.
part. I don't
Yeah,
feel.
yeah,
I agree that they wouldn't be able to do it, but I don't feel like anything that they did was quote unquote inappropriate.
yeah.
Um, when
Except
you
for
watch,
now that people are getting canceled for that same stuff.
but that's the thing. It's like, well, what they were saying was funny, but people can't. People don't know how to take a joke no more. The issue wasn't to me. The issue wasn't what they were saying,
Yeah.
um, because Saturday Night Live been saying plenty. Saturday Night Live really didn't say anything that was oh so different than what In Living Color was saying. It was just a
Uh-huh.
black cast on The Living Color.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now they got a pretty decent sized black cast on Saturday Night Live too.
Yeah, well, they didn't have a choice, in my opinion. But
Well,
be that as it may, I agree it couldn't be done, but the quality and the level of funny that they had was on point. But
yeah, yeah, for
um,
sure. For
yeah.
sure. So yeah, that'll be I don't think it would ever happen, but anyway, that's my lead in for the morning. We're on Tuesday morning, 10:29, and let's see about getting it going. Jamie, let me go ahead and talk Adam so that way when you get into your when you get in a role, you won't I won't interrupt that when I have to step out to go and teach, okay? If you don't mind. Jamie can talk earnings when he comes on. There's definitely some stuff that's going to be there. Adam's number, snail's pace action into day two for SPX as it awaits on four major earnings reports starting today. Don't overtrade until volume hits. Volume, volatility, probably volatility. Don't overtrade until volatility hits. That would work. That way you can at least go with a direction. 58.25 remains the midpoint, a magnet of a 2-week range. There's no change. 58.16 must reclaim to see us back to 58.25 and 58.39 plus. We're currently at 58.10. He says 58.04, 58.07 remains the support, right? Which we're just above there now. 57.95, 57.76 are below. If we go on down some more, the gap between the ES and the SPX is about 40 points. If you're interested in seeing how do you convert these numbers on your own, I'm going to put the link in the chat. That way, if you decide you want to use Adam's numbers, you can always convert them for yourself. Ward says it was the freshest, funniest thing on TV in the 90s. Oh, yeah, definitely. Janae says Jamie was watching SPX yesterday before 2 on the 5 minute. What kind of candle was forming? She was watching SPX yesterday before 2 o'clock on the 5 minute. What kind of candle was forming? I'm sure he'll have to look at that before 2 o'clock. Let's see that. Oh, going the wrong way. I'm looking to see what was going on SPX before 2 o'clock yesterday. I'll switch over real quick and see. Share screen. Then I'm gonna give it back to you, Jamie. Screen three. Allow. Before 2 o'clock, what kind of candle was forming? 2 o'clock yesterday. Unless is there something that is there a joke or something that I missed? Wait, let me change this. Get to the right screen. Uh, is there something that I'm missing? Okay, I stopped the screen. Present. Share screen. I guess I want number two. 2 o'clock is around in here. Talking about this one with the long wick. Jimmy, am I missing something? These are the two candles. This is before 2 o'clock.
I'm looking at it. Need some more clarification on what Janae is referring to.
Yeah, yeah. This is a cool. Now, this one would give you a hammer, which would these hammer candles would have led you to believe there was more upwards action, and there would have been just with this next candle. If we're on the 5 minute chart, which is why sometimes when you're watching these smaller time frames, you have to be careful because the smaller time frames can be like fake outs. I think you should watch multiple time frames. You could have the 5. She said, I saw the poll, but wasn't sure what direction it would end. Okay.
Mm,
So this gives you this long wick. If you're looking at this candle here, this candle went down as low as 58.31. So it went down as low as here. And then this next candle took us up as high as 58.36. So there was a 5 point move between these two, $5.5 move between these two candles. It definitely hit some more resistance, which it looks like all this was resistance. This area was resistance here. And I'm sure, Janae, that you watch multiple time frames because the 5 minute chart can be one that will again can be a fake out. If you're looking at the 5 and the 15 and the 30, if you're looking at multiple time frames, you're going to get a little bit better view of actually what is going on because you can think we're getting ready to go up and then it hits a wall and that wall moves us back down several times, right? You can see a little broadening formation in here too, actually. All right. That's what I see from yesterday. If we went over to, a larger time frame, you can see it was right in this same window, right in here. This candle was basically this red one was a what's it called? Engulfing candle from this previous green one. So the 145 candle, this 2 o'clock candle basically engulfed it going down, which in itself would lead you to believe that there was more downwards action. Right? This is an engulfing candle here, this big red one where my mouse is. And then if we went to the 30-minute chart, you can also see in this same window that in the 30-minute chart, this red candle engulfed the green one and turned it around. This was been a 2-3 or 2-2 reversal. This would have been in the strat for I know you're a strat watcher, Janae. This is basically a 2-2 or a 2-3 reversal. And it reversed going the other way. Okay. Got to bring in all the pieces and the parts when you're thinking about especially if you're trading during the day. Oh my god, you got to bring in all the things. I put out a new video a couple days ago for trends and broadening formations. It's basically on the channel. I'd have to go find the link. Trends and broadening, basically trading, watching the trend. How do you identify them, and how do you chart broadening formations, which basically can show you where will price go because price expands as it goes. We do support and resistance, which in themselves can be basically quote unquote horizontal lines. But even at your horizontal lines, the price goes a little further up, usually it goes a little down further, and gives a good price discovery as it goes up and high. How high can we go? How low can we go? And then it turns back. Usually that's called broadening formations. So you might want to watch that video if you haven't yet to see what is going on with price discovery as you're watching your charts, right? Janae says, keep going to the left per the trade and wasn't sure if it would end up or down. It went down, bearish flag, but wasn't sure. Maybe it was a bearish flag she's asking about, Jamie. Okay,
Yes,
maybe
it was.
that's what she's asking.
I would have thought it was a rising wedge. I understand what you're saying.
Is a rising wedge a bearish move or a bullish move?
It's a reversal.
A reversal. Oh, rising wedge. Dun, dun, dun,
Mhm.
dun, just so we can go down. Okay. I'm
Yep.
all for that. Hmm. All right. Jamie, you have the con.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I think what Janae is referring to is this pole right here, which was the run up for this. And as it was bouncing around, when it got to this neckline, which was about right here, this is when it broke out. So where she was looking at it was about in this part here. So she was wondering what was going to happen after that. So when she said that she was following the pole, this is the north to south. The highs were going higher and the lows were going higher at that point. And so north to south, I would have been looking at lows going higher. Right here is one where I would have been looking at it because this pole started from this angle. So that would have been the first. I would have been looking at this one. Um, yeah, this would have been the main one. Probably these two would have caught my attention first because where the poll started, which is going south to north. If I say north to south, sorry, I meant south to north. So it was running up. So I would have been waiting until about right here to see this where it might break out. But yeah, that's the one I would have been watching. So I think that's what she was referring to. So this is SPX. It is already gapped down for this morning. Let me go to the 15-minute. This is the 15-minute candle. It's not broken out yet. So while that marinates, let's go take a look. The indexes are mostly down, except for the NASDAQ, which is up slightly, 0.09%. The VIX is up 0.86% to 1997. The Dow falls more than 100 points as Wall Street braces for big tech earnings. Europe is all down. The European markets turn negative. Asia is actually mixed, mostly up though. The only one that's down is Shanghai, and it is down 1.08%. The Nikkei extends previous day's gains, so the Asia Pacific market is mostly climbing. Today we had before the open, it was SoFi, PayPal, BP, McDonald's, who, by the way, has decided that they are bringing those quarter pounders back. And I'm like, hold on, player, hold
The
on.
ones with the
Too,
onions?
too soon, pimp. Too soon. It's a quarter pound. I say you hold that joint out for at least one business quarter. Cause I know I ain't finna be one rushing to get no onions off them burgers. But they definitely bringing them back. So we got Pfizer, Royal Caribbean, JetBlue, Crocs, Tenet Health, and Enterprise Products. So you know there's going to be some movement there. After the close today, we got AMD, Alphabet, Snap, Chipotle, Visa's, First Solar, Reddit, Corvo, Chubb, and Enovix. I don't think that. So that's after close today. But tomorrow with Lilly, Caterpillar, Humana, Global Payments, Trinity Capital, Biogen, Brinker, International, ADP, Jinko Solar, and Santander. I'm not expecting as much, let's say, impact from these. Um, but after close on Wednesday, definitely I would expect for Thursday morning or overnight or whatever, because Microsoft, Meta, are and Coinbase, and what's happening with Coinbase um and everything related to that space. Riot is also reporting, and they're in that space as well. So with Bitcoin and all the other stuff, you got a lot that is going on in terms of movers and shakers, if you will. So the tech giants, I guess you could say, are all stepping up for this week. With Thursday after close also being, of note, with Amazon, Apple, and Intel also reporting. So I would say at the very least at the end of the week, I'll be expecting there to be a little something happening. We have for this morning the yellow folder, good trades balance, the preliminary wholesale inventories month over month. Orange folder at 9 o'clock, S&P, CS Composite 20, HPI year over year, and then let me see here, house price index. Okay, and then we have it for month over month. So the yellow folder is the HPI month over month, and the orange folder is the HPI year over year. Today is also the consumer confidence and the JOLTS job openings. Consumer confidence and JOLTS job openings. So those are ones to look at for today. I'm going to keep it moving. I got reprimanded about going too deep into the weeds on these. So we're going to back off. For investing.com, let's see here. Economy. Actually, no, this is come back. Let's see what happened here. What did we do? What did I click? I clicked something on accident. Economic indicators. Economic indicators. Come on, Pam. What is that group called? Alyssa, the group section called investing.com.
Isn't it calendar?
Calendar. Let's see. There's usually
Investing.com. It just
there's
pops
usually like
up.
a little. I thought it was like a little tab that you can break them up.
When I
So
hit
anyway,
investing.com, I
oh,
don't
that's
see
cool.
which
We
one
got
is the
it.
calendar either. You got it? Okay, cool.
Yeah. The only ones that was not included. Let's say good balance two. It's like good trade balance 2 stars month over month. Retail inventories auto. Oh, retail inventories excluding auto. That's what that is. Retail inventories excluding auto. Wholesale inventories month over month. So these are 1 and 2 star events happening. This is our house price index year over year, month over month. They are including August in those. HI composites, 20 SA and 20 NSA month over month for August. 1 and 2 stars. The year over year for August is 2 stars. Over here, the consumer confidence is 3 stars, along with the JOLTS opening. The Fed GDP now is 2 stars over here. 1 star is the Dallas Fed Services revenue for October, as well as the Texas Services Sector outlook for October. And then we have a 52-week bill auction and a 7-year note auction coming up. The 7-year note auction is 2 stars at 1 o'clock. So that's something for us to be aware of. And then we're out of the market at 4:30 for the API weekly crude oil stock. So we are up out of there, gone. Goodbye. Hopefully we got some gains when we leave. All right. So let's take a look. It looks
Jamie, I did
like
put one sorry, excuse me, I did put one ticker in the into the comments whenever you get there.
it looks like the breakout is starting to make itself clear, or shall I say, make itself established. I did turn down the volume on on Think or Swim, y'all. So I don't even know why it's still turned down the volume so it wouldn't be making that much noise, but that did not seem to matter. We're looking at the 15-minute chart again. So I'm just putting some lines in where I see prices turned around a few times, especially in the past back here. So that's what I'll be watching to see if it turns around in those areas again. Just to see. It's bouncing off this right here. But this is for SPX. It is currently trying to fill this gap. For the SPY fans out there, that's what we got. Really don't even need to mess with that because this was the buyer zone that we looked at yesterday, and it is still in here. These zones are directly on top of each other. this is a good example of what Janae was referencing in terms of this pole. You can put that pretty much anywhere, but this looks like a formation that is happening. So when I see south to north and the highs are getting lower, the lows are getting higher. South to north, highs are getting lower, highs are getting lower, highs are getting lower. So I'll be looking at that symmetrical triangle as a possibility right here. Possible, possible that this will come down and end up going up. So that's what I will be watching on SPY. Alyssa, what was no, never mind. 584 and 577 were the numbers that came up for from Mancini for SPY. I'm assuming that that was for one DTE, right,
Um,
Allison?
the ones that I put on the Mancini, that's XSP, and that's for the same day. Do you want to
Oh, I always
know
keep
the
thinking. I don't know
numbers
why I
for the
always
1 day?
think that's SPY.
Yeah, that's XSP. If you want the SPY numbers for 1 DTE, looks like 577 and 583. 577,
Sure.
583 are SPY for 1 DTE.
So we could have just kept the numbers I said.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what I saw in the thing you were asking.
Okay, we got for on the one spread. We got if we're doing SPY, that's 12 cents, 11 or 12 cents. So that's $11 to $12 on $100 collateral. I would imagine somebody up in here might be considering an iron condor. On the CCS side, that's 16 cents. $16 on $100 collateral. No, if you can make that work, that's well over 25% return on collateral for that at the very least, right? Uh, if you are so inclined, let me drop some Mancini numbers onto the actual chart. We had 58.16, which needed to be reclaimed. So that was an important one. We also had 58.25. And 58.39 and higher. Say we start off working with those. We have something to put on the chart. Right. It actually would make sense. I can see this being a stopping point up here. This is a parity line. This price has been support and resistance before in the past, and this is 58.35. So I could definitely see it trying to push through there. 57.95. Was it 58.04? 58.07. He had as being support. So we're gonna do 58.07. Put that in 58.07. So now we got some Mancini numbers and areas. You can see these sellers have bounced off right here. Technically, this would be considered a cheer formation, I would think. Not sure how strong it is, but one would be inclined to see that as a cheer formation, I would imagine. So we got some numbers that we can wait for on this one. 1013. So we have to start looking at getting in. Let's take a look at Rut. Then we'll look at was it XLE? What was it? XLE. So let's look at XLE, then we'll look at Rut. XLE, which is the energy sector. And the first thing I see is a gap right here. This gap down, this is a seller's gap. Means that there was a rush of orders on the seller side, pushing down, selling off, and it created this gap. It's only about, it's less than $1 really, but it is there nonetheless. And there's actually a couple gaps around here. This one was a seller's gap from before. Make sure we acknowledge this one. This came down, pushed down right here. It actually established a seller zone when it did that. And then this one right here. There you go. Bring it out. Bring this out. XLE. If you want to know more about it, you can definitely go to ETFDB, etfdb.com. See, it's right here, etfdb.com. It'll bring up what's called, they renamed it to Verify. You can type in XLE, select sector energy, and go to holding. And that will tell, this is for any ETF, it'll tell you what the top 15 holdings are in that ETF. So in this one, it'll let you know the percentage. So in this one, Exxon and Chevron hold the most weight. Phillips, ConocoPhillips is number 3. And so whenever you see, this comes in handy for me because if I know that Exxon is reporting earnings or Chevron is reporting earnings, I'll come over here. I can always go and check on XLE to see how it is impacted, especially since it carries the type of weight inside of those. So for any ETF, that's a good way to see what is inside of that ETF and make some decisions on what you want to trade. Back to XLE's chart. That's etfdb.com is what that is. Right. There's a whole bunch of sites, of course, that are out there that do something similar, but that one, once I found it, it's kind of been a pretty solid go-to. So for the seller zone, the highest zone up here, one of the highest zones, there's 2 of them, but leg in, I would do 3 in the base here and the leg out because this gap down. And then for this one, feel like it makes more sense to just put these in the base. Leg in, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the base. Leg out. And it's sitting right here. This is providing resistance right now for this current candle. If we go down here, here's a buyer zone down here. That I need to bring this down a little bit. So we have this buyer zone, leg in, base, leg out. And then I would consider this a cheer right here, leg in, base, leg out. So that's where we can get the idea, oh, this might be a iron condor opportunity. because of where it is sitting in this situation, right? So this is kind of sitting it right in between a sell zone and a buy zone. And so if you were doing it for this Friday, for example, we can do a 50-cent spread. I'm usually doing a one spread for $100 by default, but that'll be 13 cents. On the PCS side, I was looking to do that. And then I probably would do 78% out the money over here. 16 cents over here for that one spread. Not horrible. Not horrible. Pretty decent. Get it on both sides. It's over 20% return on collateral. And it is pushing up right now. So the premiums for the put credit spread might be a little bit higher. All right. But I definitely would take a look at that if I was trying to find something for this morning. And I can say this for all of these sector ETFs. This is the sector ETF list. And this is a list that I would encourage anybody to get to know, because within each of these sectors, these are all ones that can be put into that ETF DB. And you can see what the top 15 holdings are. XLB will be building, like materials. XLC is communication. XLE is energy. XLF is finance. XLI is industrial. XLK is technology. XLP will be consumer staples. XLRE is real estate. XLU is utilities. XLV will be healthcare. And XLY will be consumer discretionary. So many of the tickers that we trade fit into one of these. They might not be in the top holdings, but they usually will fit into one of these sector ETFs. So this is always a good go-to to have if we can't trade a particular, we see something and we can't trade a particular stock ticker directly. We can always go here and look at these ETFs that is in and see if we can make that play. So this is that overall list right here. This has been put into our Telegram group in our membership. So really, I think you can just search hashtag sector ETFs and you should be able to find it if you're part of our group. That is there. Okay. Let's swing around and take a look at SPX. Well, let's look at RUT first. See what's going on. RUT has also done its breaking out for this morning. And put this here, and it is still working on getting out. All right. It hasn't done its thing yet. SPX is broken out, doing its thing. Okay. Took off. And as we said before, I'll be looking to see if it's going to get turned around at 58.34. Could very well go before then, but I have it marked up here. So for those of you who are doing the PDT 15-minute breakout and that kind of thing, it is definitely seemed to have made a definitive push. It could get turned around, but that's what I'm seeing right now. Right? So let's see any tickers. So let's get you all suited and booted for the rest of the day. Right? ETFDB.com again is where you can find that ETF information. Our updated version, we still have the indexes all up mostly, and Russell 2K is the only one that's down. The VIX is down 1.31% to 19.54. Okay. Our E2T daily declaration. I'm a successful trader. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. Money likes me because money is comfortable around me. It is drawn to me. E2T daily prayer. Lord, give us wisdom and knowledge for our trades today. Help us to make smart and lucrative decisions for our portfolios. So, listen, if you get a chance to, and I know everybody's always busy, so we don't always have time. But if you get a chance to, I would highly encourage you to go into these Forex Factory, the Forex Factory calendar. You just click over here where you see these folders and just kind of get an idea of what the importance is of these folders. We see these every single week. We're looking at the titles. We don't always, let's say, I know I didn't, I'll speak for myself, didn't always understand what these numbers meant and things of that nature. But then all of a sudden we start seeing that this is on a cycle. You know, the first week of the month we might see one group. Last week of the month we might see another group. So it kind of does help for us to get to know what is being reported, because that does it can impact our tickers for that morning. If you notice, a lot of the stuff that's happening is happening right at 8:15, 8:30, sometimes 7 o'clock in the morning or earlier. Everything doesn't happen at 10 o'clock, but we get a lot of stuff happening before the market even opens, not including earnings. So with these red folders and orange folders that could be happening, it really behooves us to add that knowledge base, at least to know what's going on and how it can potentially impact us in our tickers. All right. So you all have a great day. Stay green, get this money. If you have any questions in the Telegram group, always tag whoever you are asking a question to. That always helps. Otherwise, you can leave a comment below. And shout out to everyone who watches our replay. We appreciate you. We see the numbers are going up. So thank you for tuning in. Again, always leave a message if you have one. We really appreciate it. You all have a great day, and we will talk to you later.